Memorial, National Vietnam War Veterans Day. It took place in Washington, D.C., and this year was particularly symbolic since it marked 52 years since the last ground troops left Vietnam. A month later, Saigon would fall into the hands of the communist North Vietnamese. Joining us now to honor those who fought in this war is Vietnam veteran, recipient of 2 Bronze Stars, 173rd Airborne Brigade member member of the Jack Brewer Foundation, Holland Ricky White. Great to have you with us, Ricky. So good to see you again.
Nice to be with you, and thank you for having me on your show.
I wish I had more time. We only have about 5 minutes, so we'll try to make this quick. But real quickly, I saw Doug Collins, the VA Secretary, post a tribute to your fellow Vietnam veterans. And it obviously wasn't easy when you guys came back from the war, but do you feel like you're finally starting to get the respect you deserve?
Yes, I do. I think the government realized now the sacrifices in which the 58,000 plus made while in the Republic of Vietnam. But at that particular time, the country was split. Split was in half. Some agreed with the war, others didn't. And when we got home, we didn't have the ticket parade. We didn't have the ticket taker parade. They did not welcome us with open arms. They instead called us different names, saying that we were child molesters or things of this nature. We weren't human beings, and it hurted us very bad. And they didn't diagnose us with any ailments, especially mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have anything to know about PTSD. We wasn't declassified. We wasn't debriefed. We were just told, okay, to return back to society. And when we returned back to a home that didn't really want to accept us. And at that time, that was a very sad thing. I felt very bad because I went off and fought bravely for my country. I had represented the Stars and Stripes. I was well decorated. I had got promoted. I believed in the mission in which they sent us over there to do and to accomplish. But when I got back home, we weren't greeted.
Yeah.
We weren't greeted like the World War II veterans or Afghanistan and Iraq veterans.
And the PTSD particularly was difficult for you. And one of the things I did want to talk about is, you fell into a life of crime. But you've been able to turn your life around. And tell us a little bit about that.
When I got back, I fell into a life of crime, and I committed a murder. I was convicted and sentenced for life imprisonment. And I was very bitter because it was my first offense, but nevertheless, I didn't realize that I had a mental problem until 15 or 20 years of being confined. VA finally sent someone in to diagnose me, and they diagnosed me with PTSD. And as a result of that, they gave me a disability, but it didn't help me much. The time that I really found out who I was is when I gave my life to Christ. When I gave my life to Christ, and I met Jack Brewer. Jack Brewer completely changed my way of thinking, my life. He completely turned me around. He gave me an outlet to show through application the promises and commitments that I had made with God when I was inside. I promised God if he would release me from my confinement, I would serve him the remaining years of my life, that I would find a way to return and share with my fellow veterans and brothers what he had so gracefully given me, my freedom and my peace of mind. God answered prayer when he placed Jack Brewer into my life and to the many lives of other veterans and returning citizens, sharing with us the vision God had given him, a vision of forgiveness, redemption. And
I know our audience knows Jack as well, and he changed my life too, to be quite honestly. And you continue to minister to those who are in a similar situation that you were in, those who are still incarcerated, as does Jack. And I've had the honor and the privilege to be there with you to see how you can change someone's life behind bars and give them hope for the future, even when things seem quite dire. Staff Sergeant Holland Ricky White, didn't want to mess that up. Great to see you again, and hopefully we'll see you real soon. Look forward to praying with you together face to face.
Thank you, John. It's an honor and a privilege for you to have me today, and I thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you to all the Vietnam veterans who fought in that war.